Well guys, welcome to Detailing channel. In this video I will show you how to freshen up your car at beginner's level. So in this video I will show you how to prep your car before machine polishing, but also how to polish your car with beginner's startup polishing kit. Before you start to do any work, you need to make sure that you have some sort of initial setup. For preparation, what you need is power washer, foam lance, detailing buckets with grit guards. You need drying towel, some detailing brushes, wash mitt, etc. When it comes to products, I will show you in this video my go-to products when it comes to prepping the cars. But of course, if you have some products already there, you can just use them. So before machine polishing, what we need to do, we need to prep the car really well. That doesn't mean that we just need to wash it. In the preparation process, what we need to remove is road film, we need to remove tar, industrial fallout, brake dust, and any other stubborn contaminants that might not come off with the previous stages. So if we're ready to do the job, what else we should consider is we shouldn't do the job, preparation job in direct sunlight or if it's too windy. That's because all the products will be drying too quick. Also, when it's raining, prepping the car might not be the best idea as well, because the rain will just wash off the products from the surface. So let's start from the fourth step. The fourth step is initial pre-wash. For this step, I'm using a product called Vasco Prewash, and this product actually does for me initial pre-wash, but also it removes tar. So let's have a look at the car that we'll be working on today. For the preparation process, I'm going to use white car, but for polishing itself, I'll use black car because it will be easier to show the results. So how to get the best from this product and make the work effortless? So first of all, what we need to do, we need to shake the bottle really well. This product works perfectly on dry surface. So you can have car dirty, but the main thing is to spray the product on dry surface. To don't waste the product, I use this product only on lower parts of the car, up to the door handle level, the back of the car and the front bumper. You're never gonna have tar on the roof or windows, like the front windows, side windows or the bonnet. So there's no point to spray that product on all car. You can of course spray it on the wheels, wheel arches. In the case of Vasco, this product is not like solvent tar removers. So what you need to do with it is you need to leave it for minimum 1 hour on the car. What I usually do myself is I bring car in the evening, leave it indoor, and I spray it with the Vasco, and then in the morning I just come off and rinse off the product. Overall, if you don't leave this product in direct sunlight, or if you don't let it to get wet and leave the residue on the car, there's no really chance that you're going to have any sort of issues with the product. Compared to standard tar removers, solvent-based tar removers, this product is 100 times safer than any of them. So now I'm going to leave the product for about 1 hour, and then I'll come down here and I'll rinse off the product, and then I'll go to the next step. So it's about 45 minutes since I sprayed the Vasco on the car. As you can see, the product reacts really well with the tar on the surface. It also soaks the dirt. So when we rinse it off, we should have good initial cleanup of the surface as well as tar removal. If you're not sure whether the Vasco is ready to be rinsed off, what you can do is just find the biggest spot of tar on the car and just rub it gently with your finger. In this case, we can clearly see that the product did its job, so we can start to rinse off the car. When you rinse it off the car, I find the best way to do it is if you start to rinse from the bottom and work your way up. This way you'll be able to see clearly which part of the car you have already rinsed off. So as you can see here, the product works really well on tar, but it also works well on the dirt. Once you have lower part of the car rinsed off, so all the Vasco is gone and tar removed, then you can rinse off the car well, starting from the top. When you rinse the car from the top, just pay a bit of attention that during rinsing off you will remove any dirt that could be in those hard to reach spots. At this stage the car is relatively clean, as you can see here, but to make sure that the car is well cleaned before the contact wash, what I always do is I do second stage of pre-wash, which is snow foaming. Snow foam that I use for cars when it comes to prepping the car before polishing, it's ADBL Alkaline foam. So this foam is alkaline based. As a concentrate it has about 12 pH, but when you dilute it roughly 1 to 10, the pH drops down to around 10.5, 11. So when I use this foam, I'm sure that I have product with very decent cleaning power, but also the product is safe for any delicate surfaces on the car. So now I'm going to foam up the car and I'm going to leave it on the car for a few minutes to dwell. In the meantime, what I will do, I will clean up any hard to reach spots with detail brush. When you're using the detail brush for cleaning the hard to reach spots, I recommend to use it always in the second stage of pre-wash. Never use it in the first one. After 5-7 minutes you can rinse off the foam from the car. This time you can start rinsing from the top. So the next step is contact wash. For this I'm going to use 2 buckets and shampoo and mitt. Of course, for washing I'm using buckets with grit guards. So the contact wash, we start from the top, we do 1 panel at a time, rinse our mitt and repeat. Once you do the top part of the car up to, let's say, this level, use separate meat, some old meat, just for the lower parts of the car. There's always chance that there might be some dirt underneath the seals, so if you use your good meat, you will contaminate it, and then when you be doing top part of the car, you might be scratching your paint. Now you can rinse off the car again. In this video I'm not going to talk about cleaning wheels too much, because that would take another extra time. If you want to see my approach about cleaning wheels, there is video on my channel. If you're wondering when in the cleaning process you should clean the wheels, I'd say never clean your wheels with any brushes at the very start when the wheels are very dirty. What I've done there at the start, I sprayed it Vasco, so I gave them good rinse, and after that you have the loose dirt gun. Then you could, in the meantime, you could find the time for cleaning the wheels. So the next step is fallout removal. For this step, I'm going to use ADBL Vampire Liquid. What this product does is it removes any iron-based contaminants. So it could be brake dust from our wheels, could be some industrial fallout. If you use this product, you will solve the problem. So as you can see, the product reacts very quick with the iron-based contaminants. This step is necessary in the preparation process before machine polish. On light color cars you can see it clearly. On darker cars you won't see it as well as here, but it makes no difference to the color of the car. This sort of contaminants are on every car. If you skip this step in preparation process, what will happen while polishing is your pads will be clogging up with the contaminants from the paint. To make sure that the product does its job, you need to leave it on the paint for 10, 15, 20 minutes. After some time, when you think it's ready, rinse it off and then just spray a little bit of more product on clean surface just to see whether there is any more reaction. So it's about 20 minutes since I sprayed the ADBL Vampire Liquid on the paint. It looks like there is nice bit of reaction. I think the product did its job really well. So coming back to the wheels, you have to wait for the fallout remover to do its job. So this would be perfect time if you had any stubborn contaminants on the wheels to clean them in this time. The last step of the preparation process before machine polishing is clay barring. So what you need for that is clay bar and some clay lubricant. The clay bar as it is, it's too hard when you get it from the box, it's too hard. So what I do to make it softer is I put it into jar with warm water. After 20-30 seconds the clay bar is nice and soft and is ready to be used. So what clay bar does is it removes any stubborn contaminants that we couldn't remove in the previous stages. So when you clay bar, you need to spray plenty of lubrication on the panel and then just rub the clay bar gently over the paint. When you're doing that, don't apply any pressure. If you want to find out more about Claybar, check my channel. There is full video about different aspects of clay barring. When you finish clay barring, you can resolve the car, dry it, and then the car will be ready for machine polishing. So now we are ready for machine polishing, but what you need to realize is if you're doing it first time, you're not going to get full paint correction, you're not going to get it perfect. As to get to high level of paint correction, you need to practice a lot. But if you follow these few steps that I'm going to show you in this video, you will be well able to improve your paint. And what's most important, you'll be able to do it safely. So to perform polishing, you obviously need some tools. First one is, you obviously need polisher. In this case, it's ADBL roller. It's small compact polisher with 9mm throw and comes with 5-inch backing plate, but with the set you also get 3-inch backing plate. Of course, you need some compounds. In this video, I'm going to use FX Protect compounds, so you have heavy cut, medium and fine cut. Also, you need some polishing pads, so ideally you have heavy pad, medium and soft. Of course, if you do paint correction, 3 pads is not enough, but for startup, for learning, you will gain experience with the 3 pads. For polishing, you also need some panel wipe. This product removes compounds so you can see the actual results of your polishing. In this case, my go-to product for this purpose is FX Protect Surface Agent. Also, what you need is some inspection torch. With the torch, you'll be able to see the actual results that you achieved during your polishing. I'm using one like this, but for start, you can actually buy sort of on a budget head torch that creates sort of focused LED light. And of course, you need some microfiber cloths for wiping off the compounds. And ideally, if you have some sort of solution for cleaning your pads, it could be compressor or even brush like this. So if you have the equipment ready to go, now we can start to think about practicing the use of the buffer. Before we start to think about achieving the results, you want to make sure that you're well able to control the buffer itself. So let's give it a go. So if you're going to use dual action polisher, which is the handiest polisher that you can get, especially for startup, you need to know a few things about this type of polishers. As I already mentioned, this one has 9mm throw. You can get bigger ones with 15mm throw or 21, but for start I think 9mm is enough to have. So the polisher provides 9mm throw orbital movement. And let's have a look. So the first motion when you're using this polisher is the orbital one, and then the second one is the rotary movement. So the pad also spins around in circular motion. However, when you're using this type of machines, you need to realize that you can actually very easily slow down or stop the rotary motion. And if this happens, the performance of your work drops down big time. How this could happen? One of the reasons is if you're polishing and you put in too much pressure on the polisher. This also often happens on the curves, as in this case, you don't have flat surface. And another reason could be that when you're polishing and you're not used to the polisher, if you tilt the buffer like that, then the rotary movement might slow down or stop. So if you haven't used any polishers before and you're going to use dual action polisher, it's good idea to actually mark the backing plate with a marker, so you will be able to see whether the pad rotates or it just goes up and down. So now I'm going to show you how to control the polisher properly. So to get some practice, get your polisher, get some compound, some bonnet or some sort of panel that you're going to practice on. Apply a small bit of compound on the pad. And off you go. So spread the compound on the panel. Then start the buffer with the fourth gear. And now use the polisher, but make sure that the backing plate rotates all the time. So if the polisher is working for you this way, that's perfect. Then you can start to play with the speed. You can work slower, faster, and just get used to the machine. So now I will show you what to avoid when you're doing the polishing. Just follow the marker and you'll see what I mean by that. In this case, even though the polisher was vibrating and given the orbital movement, the marker was in one place, so the performance of our work was dropped down massively. So once you master the polisher, you're able to control it, the rotor movement is there in place all the time, then you can start to think about what technique to use for achieving the result when you polish it. So the first thing is how much compound do you need for a section when you're polishing. I recommend not applying too much compound. All you need is a couple of drops. The next step is the area that we'll be working on. Ideally, if you work on area roughly 16 by 16 inches, you can mark it with your compound. So what you do is 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3. So this is sort of the most optimal size for one set of passes when you're doing polishing. So at this stage you can set up your polisher on fourth gear and just spread the compound all over the surface. Once you spread the compound, you can increase the speed and start to polish the surface. To achieve good results, what you need to do, you need to put a little bit of pressure on the polisher and you need to go very slow with the machine, as if you go fast, you're not letting the machine to do its job on the surface. Once you do 4 or 6 passes like that, what you can do is you can wipe off the compound just to see what sort of results you have achieved there. But to check the results properly, you need to use the panel wipe and your inspection torch. So let's have a look at what results we have achieved. So this is the condition before, and here we have our results. So as I mentioned at the start, in first time when you're doing this, you're not going to get perfect results, you're not going to get full paint correction. In this case, I used medium compound and medium polishing pad. So what happened there was we removed most of the swirl marks, however the deeper marks are still there. The reason why it's so important to use panel wipe after polishing is that compounds might hide some imperfections, some sort of haze, buffer trails. If you just wipe the surface with dry cloth, you're only removing some of the compounds. Products like this, they deeply clean the surface. If you wanted to achieve better results on this kind of paint with the deeper scratches, what you would need to do is you need to start with heavier combination. Use heavy coat pad and heavy coat compound. However, you need to be aware that if you use heavy coat combination, you might leave some traces. So I would recommend to practice first with softer combinations to achieve less imperfections removal, but sort of more glossy finish. And once you master that, then you can easily jump up with the heavier combinations. So then you will be able to refine the imperfections that you might cause by polishing. When you start to deal with cars, you will find out that some cars have harder paints, some cars have softer paints. Most German cars, their paint is harder. When it comes to, let's say, old Japanese cars, the paint is soft. So when you start polishing any car, first of all, what you should do is you should do test panel, check whether the combination that you have there is working well for you. So overall, the whole process isn't overly complicated. However, you need to follow the steps to get it right. If anyone is interested in the polishing kit that I used for this video, link for the kit is available in the description. So this is everything in this video. If you have any questions, comment below. If you like this type of content, subscribe my channel and see you on the next one.